I guess the reason why I started with Wilson was because my heroes played was Wilson, Edberg, then later Sampras, and you want to be like your heroes. Hello. My parents would go to the shop and buy a Wilson racket and gift it to me for Christmas or a birthday, and then only later when I started to enter the junior tour, that's when I guess there was a connection with the brand, because they probably saw me playing with Wilson and you get your small Wilson deal. I remember I used to also get shoes at a discount at the time, some strings and dampeners. I came on tour with the 85. When you hit it well and perfect with the 85, honestly, it was like a warm knife through butter. It was just like poof. And obviously because it was so thin as well, it would travel through the air really easily and quickly. The balls were being hit harder and harder, rallies were getting longer. I had the feeling that the 85 was going to be a little bit tricky for me to play with in the future, as we could see. And I just had the idea that how about a 90? A 90 could maybe really offset all of those problems, I feel like the 85 to the 90 actually was a pretty straightforward change. It felt very natural. It was an evolution, not maybe a revolution. For the longest time, I stayed with the 90 until I came to another moment when in 2013, I blocked my back in Indian Wells really badly. I had a terrible back for many weeks and months, and I said, well, there's also some good things about it. I have more time, and obviously everything slows down for a second. And I thought, okay, what else can we adjust, change? And I probably had this feeling that maybe the 90 is getting also a little bit too small of a frame right now. How about if we move into something bigger, a 93, a 95, a 97? And especially something that would help me again more on the backhand side this time around, because obviously I felt the pain sometimes from Rafa with his lefty spin going high into my backhand. And I just felt like maybe that was worth at least a try. So I spoke to Wilson, did some racket testing, I remember, and we came up with the RF 97, which I thought was a great racket. Obviously it took me some time to get used to it, but then that was basically the racket I used until pretty much now. I see it as a very exciting period, changing rackets, daring to do it, being confident about the change, and the change coming from me, not in a moment of panic, but more in a moment of, well, how about if we use a certain amount of time or a certain period in your life to maybe make some changes, but proactively. Same thing in 22 in April. Obviously, I've gone through all my knee problems. I'm looking for a little bit more racket head speed on the forehand side, because I know the RF 97 helped me immensely on the backhand side, which has been wonderful. But I always felt like on the forehand side, I would love a little bit more spin, a little bit more speed, and so I could maybe play easier angles and just see if anything was out there that could do that. That's when I reached out to Wilson, and I was like, well, what else we got?